actual income so that the state, not you, the student, bears the risks of low pay or unemployment. And if you lose your job and you're unemployed, we will suspend loan payments and tack them to the back end of your loan without any penalties. That's what your vote can do. Find out everything you need to know about voting at markgoldingja.com/vote. Remember, get out and vote. Your voice, your vote, your choice. Our environment. We need a government that means what it says when it comes to protecting our environment. The cockpit country, our rivers, our mangroves, coral reefs, and our beaches. That doesn't just say nice sounding things at international climate conventions, but meanwhile allows what's happening here in Jamaica to destroy our natural environment permanently. We need a government that ensures that the National Environmental and Planning Agency, NEPA, is really independent and can protect us. That will amend the law so that there are heavy penalties on big polluters who recklessly damage our country. We know climate change is real, and we're willing to fight for change. Find out everything you need to know about voting at markgoldingja.com/vote. Remember, get out and vote. Your voice, your vote, your choice. Jobs and wages. So many of you said you wanted to become successful, to help out your families and enjoy your life. Do you realize that many of the world's largest businesses today are in the same age range as many of you? Amazon is 28, Google 24, Facebook 18, Instagram 12, and TikTok is 6. New technologies will continue to disrupt and supersede existing industries. And as the world goes increasingly digital, Jamaica must not be left behind. We need our own digital transformation, bringing affordable broadband internet to every Jamaican home to help our young Jamaicans to compete and outshine their peers across the world. Your vote can help us to make those necessary changes. Find out everything you need to know about voting at markgoldingja.com/vote. Remember, get out and vote. Your voice, your vote, your choice.
There comes a point in each person's life where they are tasked with an important decision. A decision that may affect not only them, but also their country.
Change gon' come, change gon' come, yes it will.
A decision to keep things the way they are, or a decision that will bring meaningful change. We choose change to provide wider access to homes and land ownership, for good health care.
There's a travel advisory issued by the U.S. State Department advising of the poor state of our hospitals and the prohibitive costs associated with accessing private health care.
And access to quality education from early childhood to the tertiary level. A change to decrease crime and give our youths a chance. A change from unfulfilled promises to renewed trust. A change from corruption to good governance.
I were in your position, I would take for myself and hand over to someone else who is not compromised.
We choose a Jamaica that is run democratically, not autocratically. We choose a Jamaica where if you break the law, you pay the price, no matter who you are. If, like me, you truly want a better future for all Jamaicans, not just a few, then make the decision to choose change for yourself, for your family, and for Jamaica.
Change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will.
The following message is brought to you by the People's National Party.
People, time come. People, time come. People, time come. My people, time come. People, time come. People, time come. People, time come. My people, time come. Look about what all of the people strong. United the people stand. The time is now for Jamaica rise. BMP have the better plan. We're tired of the cheap street stuff and Jamaica people deserve house and land. Equality and justice for every man. We're moving forward, never back. People, time come. People, time come. People, time come. My people, time come. People, time come. People, time come. People, time come.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Not one new high school built in 9 years. Children learning in church halls. Desks falling apart. Termite damaged roofs. Is that choosing Jamaica? The PNP will invest in education again because we choose you.
%300 pay raise for MPs.
The truth is you get the quality of governance that you elect. And every government is afraid to touch it because if you touch it, people say you don't deserve it. Why we should pay you more and the country not running well? The country not running well because of that very reason.
Public work has been waiting years for theirs.
I mean, we've done our homework, so I don't know that these
you
salaries
don't want me to share in the public.
put parliamentarians and ministers in Jamaica higher than any other
Which is why
country in the Caribbean
you're trying
region.
to stop me from sharing.
No, I'm not.
They say choose Jamaica, but it's clear they've been choosing themselves for nearly a decade. The PNP believes in a fair deal for our public sector workers. We choose you.
Jamaica's public health system is broken. Every week we hear the horror stories. Long waiting times, no beds, basic equipment not working. Hospitals and clinics are in crisis.
While this government cuts ribbons, Jamaicans are being left to suffer in overcrowded, under-resourced facilities like this one.
The next PNP government will change this. We're going to shift focus. We want to prioritize actual care for people when they're sick, not these mega projects with huge cost overruns and that can't finish years after they start.
Refurbishing every operating theatre, creating urgent care centres island-wide so people stop waiting days for help on benches or floors.
We're going to launch national screening programs to target the biggest killers of our people: cancer, hypertension, which is pressure, diabetes, which is sugar. We want to catch them early so that people's lives can be saved. We will make the investments to ensure that every parish hospital has the equipment it needs to deliver the services required by the people.
And stop the outsourcing racket that leaves patients with nothing but bills and delays.
And we will support our healthcare workers, not just with words, but with housing, with training opportunities, and with respect. This is not about PR, it's about saving actual people's lives. Next PNP government will deliver proper, decent healthcare for the people of Jamaica. Time come.
Time come. Comrades, know the history, feel the victory. Time come. People, know the history, feel the victory. Time come.
Jamaica is a beautiful Caribbean island, and beaches are part of who we are. It's not just about recreation, it's a part of our culture, it's about community, and it's about the livelihood of our people. But we have a problem. Our Jamaican people don't have access to most of our beaches. Fisher folk are losing their livelihoods. Families are being priced out of access to beaches. The next PNP administration are going to fix this. We'll use
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the people. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
Prematurity is a medical condition, not a cause of death. I am not speaking to you as just a politician, not as a PNP, not as a doctor, but as a Jamaican. We must put Jamaicans first. We must modernize hospitals and clinics, expand primary care, train and keep more nurses and doctors, strengthen maternal and child health, and expand mental health services in every parish. This is about more than healthcare. It is about life, dignity, and hope. Because in a new Jamaica, no mother should fear losing her baby or her own life, and no Jamaican should be left without care. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the people. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
Prematurity is a medical condition, not a cause of death. I am not speaking to you as just a politician, not as a PNP, not as a doctor, but as a Jamaican. We must put Jamaicans first. We must modernize hospitals and clinics, expand primary care, train and keep more nurses and doctors, strengthen maternal and child health, and expand mental health services in every parish. This is about more than healthcare. It is about life, dignity, and hope. Because in a new Jamaica, no mother should fear losing her baby or her own life, and no Jamaican should be left without care.
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. You deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
If you work long hours to keep Jamaica running, you deserve to take home every cent you earn. For too long, our police officers, firefighters, security guards, and hospitality workers have been taxed on their overtime and gratuities. That ends with the next PNP government. We will remove taxes from overtime pay and service charges. Because if you give more, you should keep more. You put in the extra work. You go beyond the call of duty. Your sacrifice should be rewarded, not taxed. It is time for fairness. It is time for respect. Jamaica, time come for a better life.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party. The following is
if necessary to secure beach access rights for our people. We work closely with the tourism interests and investors to secure a harmonious solution that's a win-win for everyone. But the principle is that the interests of the people must always come first. Our beaches are part of our natural ecological heritage. All our Jamaican people must be able to enjoy our beaches, and the next PNP administration will make sure that this is so.
Comrades, know the history, feel the victory. Time go, people, know the history, feel the victory. Time go. Chip, 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 hey. Chip, chip, chip. Call the you a drive little big scam bus. Them 28 book there where you shuffle up. Just understand, say everybody boy you fed up. Call the election now. Call it. Roll up, we've had enough.
If you're ready for the People's National Party, let me hear us a power. If you're ready for the victory, let me hear us a blood and fire, comrades. Eastern Hanover, comrades. Western Hanover, comrades. This is a very important moment in our lives. We have to make sure that we make Mark Jefferson Golden our next Prime Minister of Jamaica. Let me tell you something. We have no choice. We have to make this happen. We are doing it for our children, our grandchildren, and the people of this country. So we have to do it. We have no choice. And so tonight, I know that the day has been long, and we have our party leader, our next Prime Minister of Jamaica, here with us in Eastern Hanover. And we have your next Member of Parliament, Comrade Andrea Purkiss. And we have your own councillor, Councillor Winter McIntosh. And we have Councillor Frey. From the Hopewell Division. And we have Councillor from the Lucy Division, Councillor Brian Chambers. Our comrade workers and warriors of the People's National Party are here as well. And I know that you come to hear your party leader. And so tonight, two persons are going to talk to you. You're going to hear from your next Member of Parliament for Eastern Hanover and your party leader. And so at this time, I want you to welcome your next Member of Parliament for Eastern Hanover, Councillor Andrea Purkiss.
March, we are march, march, march. Now we are marching on to progress. Time comes only alive.
Comrades, blood and fire, comrades. I feel good tonight. Our party leader, the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding. Welcome to Chester Castle, Division 1. I have all my councillors with me. Comrades, we've been on the road. Party leader has to get back home. But comrades, this is a serious election coming. The 3rd of September is no joke. The 3rd of September is not about, comrades, I want you to hear me out. The 3rd of September is not about clerks on foot. The 3rd of September is no joke. The 3rd of September is when you will go out and vote. Vote for accountability. Vote for Andrea Purkiss, because you know that I am you. I am one of you. I am amongst you. I am with you every day. You know, comrades, that your challenges are mine. I did not parachute my way into Eastern Hanover. I live amongst you. Tonight I want to remind the voters that it is important to put the X beside the head. As I see the blue light flashing in front of me, I want to remind the civil servants, as I see the blue light flashing in front of me, our police officers, our nurses, Our teachers, you are working overtime without any extra money. Mark Jefferson Golden will change that. To our young people who are struggling to buy a home and still at home living with mom and dad, but want their independence, Mark Jefferson Golden has a plan for you. Comrades of Chester Castle, I have been to Adams Peace, I have been to Lantop, I have been to Mount Peter, I have been through the hills and valleys of Eastern Hanover, and I've seen your struggles. I am here to give you hope. I am here to let you know and to reassure you that when I go to Gordon House, it will not be business as usual. I will not be quiet. I will represent you and I will work for you. I want to remind you, comrades of Eastern Hanover, that we have been neglected far too long. All of our roads are bad in Eastern Hanover. Most of Eastern Hanover has no water. And so, comrades, and if you're on the fence, if you're undecided, I want you to look at the manifesto that the People's National Party has presented. I won't be long, I can't be long, because my party leader has been here over time. But I want you to take the time to look at the manifesto, read through it, and understand that this People's National Party is the party for the people. And I just want to say one quick thing. The money politics will not work this time. We will not go back to the days. We will not go back to the days of slavery when we were bought. I was called a common horse. I was told I don't have enough money. And I engaged that young man and I asked him if he has children. And I said to him, what are you saying to me? Are you saying that your child is not good enough to represent Eastern Hanover? I want to say to you tonight that this common horse will be going up to Gordon House and I will be taking all of you with me. Eastern Hanoverians, the word is love. I want to introduce my party leader to you, the one and only Mark Jefferson Golden. And it's one thing, only one thing I only want to ask my party leader one favor. Put back the roads in the hands of the government, because it is a lot of work to fix the roads of Eastern Hanover. We must take the roads away from the private man. The word is love. Welcome, Mark Jefferson Golden.
March, 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 we are march, march, march. Now we are marching on to progress. Time comes on we allow. Now we don't hear what the liberals say or what they say we are. Now we need.
Easy, selector. Comrade chairman of the meeting, comrade councillors, comrade member of parliament in waiting, and your next member of parliament for Eastern Hanover, comrade Andrea Purkiss. All of the comrades who have been on this tour with us this afternoon coming into the night, and everybody who's here in Chester Castle Square. What a joy it is. It's been a long day. We started in Orange Bay at midday exactly. And here we are in Chester's Castle at 9:15 in the night. And I have to get back to Kingston, so I'm not going to talk for long. But I want to say a rate to you for your stamina and for coming out all this way with us and being here tonight. Comrades, the Prime Minister has been going around making some false comments about how the Jamaica Labour Party rescued the economy. We have to mash down that lie. It was the People's National Party that came to government in 2012, inheriting a debt to GDP ratio of 147%.
where the country had gone off the rails. We were not in any program with the IMF because they had failed every test and hadn't even taken the test. And the international financial community had Jamaica as a basket case, a failed state financially. And it was under Portia Simpson Miller and Dr. Peter Phillips with Ayman Markey G in charge of the legislation at the time that turned that completely around and built the current fiscal rules into the fiscal responsibility framework of the country so that the debt of the country could be brought under control. And when we left office in 2016, from 147%, it had come down to 115%, including not just rigorous economic management and running high surpluses to pay that debt down, but also entering into a historic debt swap with the government of Venezuela, where they released $2+ billion of debt back to Jamaica at less than 50 cents in the dollar. And that was a masterpiece of a transaction that took the debt to GDP ratio in one move, a further 9% down to get it to 115%. So when the JLP came into government, the fiscal rules were already in law, anchoring what the Ministry of Finance could do in each budget. And it is that that has taken us down to where we are now, which is 60-odd%, with the target ultimately of getting to 60% by March 2028. That there is a long piece of what they call an algorithm, a long equation in the 5th schedule to the Financial Administration and Audit Act. I was the one who put it in there with the technocrats from the Ministry of Finance when I was Minister of Justice. And that has anchored the whole system to make sure that we don't come off the rails fiscally moving forward. So Andrew Holness, stop talking rubbish. You had nothing to do with it. It was already set in place by the time we demitted office in March 2016. And Audley Shaw and then Nigel Clark just had to continue to abide by the rules that were set to them for them by the People's National Party government. There's another point I want to make, because I hear some foolishness being said publicly, which, you know, there's so much misinformation going around the place nowadays in social media and elsewhere. What I want to assure Jamaica of is this. First of all, our PNP government to come after the 3rd of September will be a government for all Jamaicans. PNP, Labour Right, No P, Christian, Rastafari, everybody. And the things that are now in place and that are being and that we think makes sense to continue because they're in the best interest of the people of Jamaica and they are people focused and will help to deliver a better life, we will keep those things. But those things that we don't think are the priorities now, we will probably either defer or discard those things. And we will introduce the things that we have committed to in our manifesto. And that is how we're going to deal with that part of the budget, which is called programs, which is a decision of the government. Every government has to prioritize what they want to spend money on. And we will not be shackled by what the JLP have been doing for the last 10 years because the people want change and we have to deliver the change. And our manifesto has the things in it that the people want to see happen. So, for example, we are going to remove the tax from the hotel workers' tips and gratuity so that they take home, whether it be fortnightly or monthly, more money in them pocket. I have spoken to the hotel workers. I have been to see more than one hotel and talked to the workers, and they tell me they want to see that happen. This government promised it but didn't deliver it. We will deliver it within 90 days after we form government. Similarly, all workers in this country who earn under $6 million a year and who earn overtime, right now they have to pay tax on that overtime. Whether you're a police officer or a security guard or a firefighter or a nurse or any other type of worker who gets overtime, The next PNP government is going to remove the tax from overtime pay, so you will put more in your pocket a month end. We have tremendous plans for the youths. We're going to establish a youth innovation fund so that young people who want to become entrepreneurs and have an idea but can't get a start will get a bus under the funding from that fund. We're going to sort out persons with disabilities to give them a chance as well so they can make a life for themselves, working from home if necessary, fixing the sidewalks, helping them with assistive aids so they can participate fully in the life of the society, of the country. That is what we are going to do for them. For persons who have been living on public land and don't have any security of tenure, they don't have no title for the land. The law that was passed after slavery that says you can't acquire a title for publicly owned land unless you've been on it for 60 years. We're going to take that out of the law. We're going to reduce it to 25 years so that people can get their title. And for all the Operation Pride schemes across Jamaica, where there are any that are unfinished, and I've toured many of them, the infrastructure isn't complete or they don't have their titles. We are committed to completing those schemes, completing the infrastructure and getting you your titles. And any other informal settlements, we are going to bring similar solutions so that you can get infrastructure, get organized and get your titles and move those communities from informal settlements to proper communities where the people can have pride and have an address and own their own piece of land on the rock. We have plans for housing. We have plans for education. We have plans for agriculture. We have plans for healthcare. We have plans for every important area of life in the country to make this a better place for the people of Jamaica. We want to make it a stakeholder society. Owners, where the people who are now marginalized and do have a stake, they will be brought into the society and into the economy as owners under the next PNP government, because we see that as a pathway to making our country wealthy, because we want to increase the productivity of our people by investing in our people, investing in training, investing in education, and uplifting the standard of our workers so they can get better jobs, attracting investment that can help to make sure that they earn a decent wage for what they do. Right now, so many people, even if they have a job, are living on the margins of existence. The minimum wage is, although they reset it, it's still, if you're earning that, you have to be scraping along to make a living. And we are committed to transitioning that from a minimum wage to a livable wage, where you will work out what is a figure that is a basic minimum to have a decent life. And we're going to set it for the people at that level. So comrades, don't listen to the lies and the propaganda and the deceptions. Please, listen to what we are saying. Listen, read our manifesto. Watch the videos that we are sending out, which tell you what we're going to do. And stand firm, because they're going to come at you in all kind of ways. They're going to try to buy you out so you don't come and deliver what we are expecting of you. On the 3rd of September, we have to rise above that. It's a criminal offense to take any money in respect of election, buying or selling. We're not in a them thing there. Your vote is a sacred right. Our forefathers fought and blood, sweat and tears for that right. Please, people, on the 3rd of September, do the right thing. Put your X beside the head for Andrea Purkiss here in Eastern Hanover and deliver this seat for the People's National Party. You did it in the local government elections. You did it. Every single division in the parish is now held by the PNP. And I know you can do it for the national elections, so I can have 2 lovely, powerful women, capable women, brilliant women, determined women, committed women with me in Garden House. Comrades, I have a long way to go. I'm heading back to Kingston. The word is love. Power to the people. God bless you all.
March, we are march, 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 we are march, 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 'cause we are marching on to progress.
been a long day. I want to thank you very much for receiving the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. And let me hear it again from Mark Jefferson Golden. Comrades, I want to thank you for receiving here in Chester Castle the next Member of Parliament for Eastern Hanover, Comrade Purkiss.
We are stepping out of darkness into the light and a kick out corruption doors. Now we are marching on to progress. Time comes, don't be alarmed. And we don't hear what the labor rights say or what they say we are. Now we need.
Comrades, let me hear it from my colleague, Councillor from the Hanover Municipal Corporation.
And we marching to victory. Everything they broke down, we are go build back. We are go build back better than before.
Comrades, let me hear it from you, the warriors and workers of the People's National Party.
Ease up the pressure. Jamaica can't take no more. We are stepping out of darkness into the light and a kick down corruption doors.
Comrades, we are not for sale. Come September 3, you did it on the 26th of February, and we are going to do it again, comrades. We are going to send a message to the laborers. Comrades, have a safe travel home. I want to thank all of you. See you on the warpath, comrades. One love, comrades. One love.
Comrades. I know that it has been a good night, not true? And I know you're ready for the PNP, not true? So September 3, vote early. Rain may fall in the afternoon. So go out early and put your X beside the head and you will see the name Andrea Purkiss. In order for Mark Jefferson Golden to be the next Prime Minister, you have to send him Comrade Andrea Purkiss. I wasn't going to DJ anything tonight, but the candidates let me have a touch. One little piece. And we have Comrade Delancey from Westmoreland here with us as well. And Mr. Lewis for allowing us to use this location. Stand for the Jamaica Rise, please.
The trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, so awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to thee, loyal and faithful, true to thee.
Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you. Have a good night. One love.